Welcome back, everyone, as FPX and Gen.G take us to a map 3, and it's Gen.G who finds the win on Sunset. Golden Boy here, you got Mimi as well as Kukuka to break it all down. But guys, I mean, overall, this series has been delivering. I've loved every minute of it, and it's been great to see really Gen.G, after that hard-fought OT loss, like really bounce back the way that they did and take the task to FPX on Sunset.
Yeah, they started super strong on this map. I think in particular, the amount of map control they were getting on their attacking side was honestly ridiculous. Meteor as an individual on that Cypher, every round seemingly, he was getting value on these lurks, constantly pushing up and causing trouble for the side of FPX. But if you look at this head-to-head, it felt in a lot of ways that this match, at least initially, was defined by these two guys.
Yeah, exactly. And not even initially. I also think that on that second half, knowing how FPX plays, how they want to take that mid control, Meteor was key in keeping market secure. Time after time, we saw that those trapwires having a lot of impact in the game.
But FPX did find the adaptation to kind of get things closer to that 6-6 half after initially failing on their defense side. I think towards the end, we saw a lot better stuff from them, going more proactive into mid, doing a much better job of taking map control. But once we got to that second half, it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, exactly. And in some rounds, we just saw a bit of this coordination, right? And especially when we move on to that second half, after Gen.G get that pistol round, they do a very beautiful second round buy. But when we get into the bonus, we see an FPX that is back to not really having an idea, or maybe expecting Gen.G to do the same thing that they were doing in Lotus, being extra proactive and giving them something. But no, they just sit and wait for something that doesn't happen.
And if you look at their default, all of these players are postured towards that. You have the trip on B, and they briefly pressured mid, but other than that, they don't have a lot of map control. So just that one Cypher cam over towards B is providing all the info Gen.G need to lean really heavy onto this A side and invest a ton of util to stall FPX, which means by the time they're actually hitting into this side, they have very little time left, they're running out of options, and they're gonna end up losing the rounds. And this is something we saw the last time they played on Sunset too. I think it's kind of a running problem for FPX on playing these defaults where if their opponent doesn't get proactive, they kind of fall out of options of what to do and then are just banging their head into a stacked site and losing rounds.
But I really love how austere Gen.G was being with their utility, right? We saw the OMEN paranoia, but the escalating is very, very good to make sure that they're going to have enough presence-wise or utility-wise when it comes to that retake.
Yeah, something, I mean, that literally won them the game as well, right? I mean, great stall at the end there, the paranoia to prevent, and then after that, you know, you had Meteor who just was playing around with the cages, just letting life like take his time to put that spike down. So overall, you could definitely see like just great use of not only their utility, but also just understanding like what their win conditions were in that situation.
Yeah, I think Gen.G, this is one of their strongest maps on the Sunset. They're really well coordinated here. I think the way that they're setting up their star in particular with this this Sova and KO comp looked excellent throughout.
Oh yeah, Munchkin was unreal on the KO. I really hope that they, you know, make no changes to the composition when we move on to Ascend and we keep seeing him there, because I really think that it was a bait leaving that Sunset open because they had the tape on what FPX wanted to do exactly with this composition, and they decided that this is a map that they wanted to go to.
Yeah, I think the way they were playing the attack, like we were talking about with that like heavy mid-control ideas, taking a lot of space without investing a lot of that utility, was definitely a read into that very passive FPX style. So credit to the coaching staff and to Munchkin.
Yeah, I'm also surprised because I really think that Gen.G threw them off. There was, I can't remember the exact round, but in the first half, there was a retake where FPX, Lysor uses the paranoia and there's no follow-up. Like there is some kind of these key moments that you're like, yeah, but what if you invest in all of this, what's the second thought after that?
Yeah. It's the FPX duality of man. I feel like when you watch them have a lights out half, like how they started last map, and then making some of the mistakes here, we need to see that strong FPX if they want to close this out.
Yeah, well, you know what though, one of the players that was certainly, you know, surprising us all though, as we take a look at our Verizon high-speed moment of the match, or of the map, excuse me, was Ion with really just some smart plays, but also was really great throughout the map. And then, of course, you know, you had Life doing life things, but it sets up Ion for some great plays like that.
Yeah, that bait play was sick with the Euro.
That was unreal. I think that everybody was losing their minds because there is no way that Karen expects Life to come where he's coming from. This is one of the things that you can do with the Euro. And if you're Life, you can do it with the operator out of all weapons. So it's very sick to see, and I cannot wait to see what happens on Ascent.
And I just want to take this moment, too, to say, I think there's been kind of this, like, tendency of especially Western audiences to kind of discredit FPX sometimes, like, oh, they play this goofy stuff, oh, they do that, especially at past events. But they play a unique style, but they implement on it really well, honestly. Like, this is not a bad team. They make mistakes. We saw it in that map, but they are a solid squad, and it is really pushing Gen G to the limit, which is, that's tough to do.
Yeah, the bones of the team, right? Solid. Like, it's pretty much exactly what you want to see as you're midway through the season, and you want to start to see, of course, the China region start to build up a little bit more. It's not just EDG now. FPX also showing that they can compete at this level as well.
But they have
Gen
to show
G,
they can get wins at this level, and that's the thing.
And right now, this is a big test for this FPX lineup, because for Gen G, they've been here before. They know what it's like to play in these high pressure map 3 situations when when a lot is on the line to move on in this competition. Granted, FPX, they'll still very much be in it, but for Gen G, you have to be feeling a little good about, the squad going into map 3, right? Because that was 13-7, not the most comfortable, but if you were looking at the matchup, Gen G is definitely vibing a little bit here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I think that the momentum was not there after that first map. We're going to see the composition with the Yoru, the Omen, and I think that is going to be very interesting to see from the attack side.
Yeah, I think that the kind of biggest trade-offs with this composition is running that solo initiator. Means if you're combining utility on your XX, it has to be that Yoru flash in with that fade utility. But it does set you up for some really cool stuff, like comboing the sound deafening with those Yoru TPs. FPX have a lot of cool set plays with this comp.
Yeah, exactly. And this map is one of the even though FPX has picked a lot of map throughout the season, this is one that they've always left for the decider. It's always a last choice, and same for Gen G. So I really think that we're in even ground.
Well, this is it, folks. Winner moves on in the competition to the playoff stage. Let's go ahead and send it back over to Achilleos and Paper Thin for the call.
Thank you very much. Yes, here we go. Map 3 to determine which one of these teams is moving forward into the playoffs. FPX, is it them here in front of the home crowd, or is it going to be Gen G? Much to the chagrin of these fans. We will find out as we get ready to go forward here onto Ascent, but this is a map, a classic one for Gen G. You know exactly what to expect if you're FPX. You know how this composition often pilots itself. For Gen G, though, this is going to be a first exposure to something that's a lot more wild.
Yeah, this comp is pretty tricky to deal with. EDG struggled with it. That was the last time Fun Plus Phoenix brought it out, and they destroyed them. It was 13-4, 13-5, something like that.
That's to the way! And oh my god! 2 quick kills found Lakia. 2 in response. Karen will just go ahead and find Berlin out in mid. And that is a blink and you miss it round as Gen G will win another pistol.
All right, okay, yeah, sure.
Hell of a way to start.
Yeah. I mean, jeez. I mean, Texture's just, now he's really feeling it. I mean, this is so scary for FPX because any of the hiccups, any of the lack of confidence that Gen G had on that Lotus are gone. They're gone, they're gone. It's done and dusted. They are back to normal. He's just saying, okay, we hit him, we hit him. It's like the noise they make when gunshots land. And he's got a Marshall now, Guardian, and they're saving. They got a couple pistols and another Guardian, so looking to really carry over some extra cash into that bonus, or some extra guns into that bonus as well. And it's all classics.
Full push down, but see that paranoia at the ready. There it goes, scratches the cross, finds everybody. Karen able to find the first shot as Quantum going to be taken down. Spam through. They have to back away, and it's going to be Meteor falling, but Texture just spamming into the smoke. Comes up with 1. Munchkin now overwhelmed, taken down by the HP bars here on the side of FPX. Absolutely in tatters.
Gone.
Lakia finding the first. Just 45 HP between Berlin and Life.
There's a lot of util here at the front of the site. KJ util, which isn't going to be useful right now. Oh my god, Berlin!
The jump up over the top, and Karen just going to be taken down. Yeah, all of this being able to be ignored, and FPX doing the unthinkable. Looking to try to close this out. Life. Flash at the ready, in hand, quick turn. Lakia able to find it. Lakia, he's been in this position before, where he needs to clutch things out. Jump down off the top of heaven, but the flank coming through. Berlin now making presence known. Lakia now racing down over towards the spike, gets a tap on it, thinks that he's gonna have him pushing forward here through tree, but it's actually the approach on the heaven. Quick shot, the swing out, and Lakia says, that's my maneuver. You don't get to do that to me. will be able to get the defuse. Gen.G will move up 2-0, but a significant amount of damage still dealt. One of those Guardians lost.
Tremendous damage by FPX. I mean, you're hoping at worst with that buy that you lose 2 for Gen.G, but they lose a lot. Berlin just jumping up and through. The Red Bull clutch for Lakia. Absolutely insane stuff. I mean, Lakia, look, there's not a lot of players that I would rather have in a clutch moment like that. He has been so good for Gen.G. Yeah, again, he's another one of those players like Lysord, not always topping the score line. Goodness gracious. Can he get you some big round wins in those tough, tough moments?
Off to a roaring start with that 5-0 scoreline that he has. Operator now, though, in the hands of Texture. As we go into the full buy from FPX. Push getting ready to come through. Shot, gonna go wide. Texture tagged down to 45. Frankly, lucky to be alive at all.
And this is something that FPX loves to do, is try to get B control, take B main, get that Yoru utility so deep.
Thrown out, Nano to get some damage across. Lakia, overall, not too bad. Just waiting. There's the turret contact. Knows that they've swung in front of it. He just continues to peek out, and Lysor is going to be taken down. Watch now, flowing there. It's Life, able to find the headshot. 1-8-1, shock dart. It's going to be the fake out. It's Lakia. Goes back away. Munchkin as well, going to be kept at bay. Down to 70 HP, sends out that flash as he just backpedals over towards that A door.
Good discipline here from Gen.G, though. Even though often Autumn is left on his own in this composition, it's usually a 1-4 split for FPX on their attacker side on this map. Gen.G doesn't budge, even though Munchkin makes contact with him. Trying to sell a bit of a fake is Berlin. And that's gonna pull Munchkin. It's all on Charon.
But Meteor knows exactly where all this is going. Sends up a couple shots and then Lakia can spray through. They manage to work it out together. Find that elimination. So man advantage here for the side of Gen.G. The rest of FPX making their way over onto the site, but there's only 12 seconds remaining now. 2 players pinged out, but Ion good for the shot. Munchkin gonna be taken down. Spike now planted. Charon still sat here in hell. The push forward coming through, finds the first, finds the second! Push out Ion again, snappy with the aim. Manages to take him down, but now he finds himself in a 1v2.
Oh, Meteor.
The swing out, and Lakia somehow manages to steady the aim. Meteor on the flank, not necessary. Gen.G converting the bonus.
That was a tough round there for Gen.G, to be honest. I mean, FPX making some good maneuvers there. Realizing that the B site was going to be really unassailable. Fuse is going to come through, of course, after we get the Gen.G spray, the TRX spray.
Wish you were here.
Yeah, missing you.
An operator recovered. And Lakia still deathless. 7-0, Hunter's Fury online as we'll take a look back on this one. But, I mean, Charon, he just quick TP'd into hell when they finally go to check out and see if that position is cleared. Somehow he just comes up with those quick kills. Solid shooting from Ayung, though, to make it as close as it was. They continue to whittle away at this economy from Gen.G, not allowed to get fully banked up, but that round win still eluding them.
I mean, say what you will, Ayung has been firing these last couple maps. Even though it's been a struggle for FPX as a whole. This fake out is going to be cleared, but here we go. The Hunter's Fury to try to delay this push.
For the target, Life in the meantime, able to get in on top of the Victor, and Charon going to be taken down by the Nanoswarm. Meteor's turret, going to be able to find Berlin, then Meteor gets Life. And suddenly now, the 3v3, Meteor audioless here for the moment, shoulder to shoulder against 2 players. As they push up into the side, and he splits the difference a little bit too much. Autumn and Lysor both take a significant amount of damage, but now it's all on Lakia and Munchkin to see if they can try to clutch this one out. They're suspicious about Ion's position. Lakia will be felled as Ion continues to deliver. FPX get themselves online.
Yeah, now FPX is finally able to find the space that they need to get that Yoru utility in. Use the fake out to buy a little bit of extra space. TP in towards the back stairs. And then they could start ripping apart Gen.G. I mean, Meteor doing what he can on the back, but it's tough, man. When they start coordinating well, this FPX comp, so fearsome. Now you have the dimensional drift as well.
Ooh.
And that's
a timeout call.
Wow, that's a fast one.
Yeah, down to the wire here for Gen.G. Go ahead and pump the brakes, but yeah, Solo not liking what he was seeing here, especially as they get ready to go into this next round, because the cash, because of how just scrappy the last ones have been, the op, it's lost, can't replace that. And overall, the Gen.G players don't have too much money to work with. They do have the blades available, the Texture to try to make up for it. But that's still just one tiny advantage for them.
Yeah, I'm really curious what Solo didn't like so far. I mean, I think FPX has been doing a decent job of working the map, giving themselves opportunities. In that round, you know, just a kind of a util combination caught Gen G enough off guard. They lost a couple players very, very quickly on that execute, trying to probably figure out how they should be positioning themselves to avoid some of those util dumps. Are they gonna sit further back in alley, maybe try to make sure they maintain market control a little bit better, a little bit sooner, so they can cut off those advances, set up some crossfires from the alleyway. See exactly how Gen G is gonna change things up. In fact, it's gonna be a shift of Meteor over towards A. Gonna be using his util to lock down the front of that A site again. Toxic screen cutting across the A site, but that's pretty much standard here for FPX. That's their default toxic screen on this map on their attacker's side. So nothing out of the ordinary shown just yet, but making a lot of pressure towards the A orb. Gonna be able to snatch it up. I don't think there's much that Gen G really is gonna be able to do about that. A little util brings out a smoke from Charon, and now change of direction here for the rest of FPX, trying to spread the map a little bit, looking for aggressive plays from Gen G just in case, but being really, really methodical with how they're maneuvering around the map. Didn't like when that smoke came out.
Right here.
Thought that maybe they're a little too ready for us on A. Let's go back to our home territory of B.
Flash in, 0 point, able to get the suppress here, tap onto the orb, just kind of bait out some shots. Or not much
30 seconds
found here. This is a pickup, just trying to get Lysor over towards that lockdown when possible. Reveal able to find one.
Look how deep that smoke is. Makes it so hard for them to set up their util combos like they want to, and they're gonna try to get through over onto the A site, and only Meteor left. Oh my God.
Oh, Berlin eventually able to find the shot, drags it across, and Texture's gonna be taken down, and Meteor still here on the site. Gets the headshot, Autumn taken down, Karen finding life, and the spike just can't be planted. They've squandered their time, and Meteor's held the line! A Mastercard thrifty and a 4K from Meteor with some of the most gorgeous shots that I have seen.
I mean, FPX just couldn't find any comfort. They couldn't find the space that they wanted. And when they finally tried, Meteor said, absolutely not. We're not having any of that. This is my site this time. Usually I'm over on B, but I'm gonna be shifted over, and those are ridiculous. So clean. Yeah, that's a few woes out of him. I agree.
How could you not? Operator now back into the hands of Texture. An Odin in play for Lakia.
Here.
Munchkin sticking with that staple Guardian.
Dimensional Drift for FPX. Are they going to invest it in this round? There is the lockdown as well for Meteor. So something to be considered here for both squads in terms of ults. Push up towards mid. Otherwise, looking for that pick, can't find it.
That back away, seeing Ayong as well.
Playing
Man,
anti-flash.
been so incredibly clean. Meteor tucked away here, wants to still play forward, finds the first, spots the second, continues to hold his ground, but Autumn takes advantage. Using the high penetration there on that Guardian, finds the headshot. Berlin considering a TP play here. 0 point checking out over towards Market, making sure that Texture's backside is going to be protected, and Karen peeking in, able to find Lysor. Takes him down. Man advantage once again here for the side of Gen G. The Haunt not going to be revealing much as Munchkin takes a very forward position, swooping through, but he's not ready for Berlin to be at back Gen. No found, but Berlin's still here. Lakia now reinforcing the position. But Autumn again, just banging through, finds the shot. Pit now going to be invested. Starts set out.
No way.
The pit immediately dropped. Autumn dead now, it's all on Berlin. And he's been revealed. Not fast enough on the clear. Gets the spot there on the Lakia, but he doesn't have the shots. Lakia's just got too many bullets. Takes him down, and Gen G continuing upward, now 5-1.
I mean, Autumn hitting some incredible shots along the way, but Gen G, this staggered defense, as FPX tries to make their way through short. I mean, Meteor with a nice initial shot, tries to challenge. But that Guardian high pen, so valuable for Autumn in this round. Right through the box gets Charon. What an angle. And it's just insane stuff. The fact that Lakia just picks Autumn out of that Viper's pit instantly is absurd. Absurd.
Well, FPX now calling a timeout, trying to get this map, get their feet back beneath them. It seems like every time they're trying to get back up, Gen G just continue to swoop their feet out from underneath them, put them right back down to the ground.
And this comp is built to be pretty successful on the attacker side. It's worked a treat for them typically in the past. It's very good on the defender side too. But right now, Gen G is just stalwart, hitting good shots, making good adjustments, making good enough reads, even though FPX is throwing a lot at them and it's a lot to handle. Right now, Gen G is able to carry that weight. See if they can continue to keep their stamina, keep their strength up. Something that Gen G has talked about after Madrid they've been focusing on is building their endurance, building their physical endurance, building up their exercise regime, their regimen, becoming more resilient to these long games that they seem destined to play.
Well, even if the maps themselves aren't long, they always have to play the maximum number of them, it would seem. And one away from this lockdown here is Lysor. Meteor still holding onto his own as Texture taking a very aggressive position forward here. Lysor on the peak. Get the punish, but it comes through! Texture, how do you hit that?
Please explain. He wasn't even looking there.
We're gonna have to see that one back, but that was absolutely disgusting no matter which way you slice it. Drone out into mid, nothing gonna be spotted. Berlin just up on top of the box here on Cat.
I mean, for sure from FPX's perspective, you know, they have no idea that he did what he just did. They probably just thought, well, he guessed it out. You know, sometimes Killjoys do like to hide behind that corner. And now Munchkin tucked into the cubby, setting up with Lakia. Lakia making some noise, checking with Util. It's well placed. Here's a couple gunshots. Lets loose with the Odin, but nobody to be found just yet. This is all just to make it as confusing, as difficult as possible for FPX to read the position of Munchkin.
I mean, they're just being held at bay. The Odin, the shock darts, everything, just stopping them from advancing forward, and Munchkin tucked away right inside of B main. They're gonna be coming down, smoke gonna be coming through. That market is open. Munchkin backpedaling, trying to get himself out. Dimensional drift comes through. Texture not believing in the first one, but still can't find the shot onto the second. Berlin in the meantime take down Meteor. Multiple players now sat back here at boats. Probably trying to check forward, but again, time dwindling. Berlin able to find another. Texture all on its lonesome, the real. It pops onto everyone, peeks out, finds one, but Autumn swings the corner, and he's able to gun them down as Karen arrives. FPX will find themselves a second round win.
And it's great patience here from FPX to pop that dimensional drift, to get that crucial information. Munchkin's hiding in the corner. Just watch this.
Oh my.
Nuh-uh.
You're kidding me.
Nuh-uh. Oh my.
That is one of the most disgusting flicks. Yeah, we gotta watch it again.
That's
an elbow. And he reacts within milliseconds.
My God. I mean,
and yet the round still goes the way of FPX.
Yes, and it's brilliant use of the dimensional drift. It gets so much info, keeps Texture off balance, gets them that sight hit they need, and a crucial round win. And okay, sure, why not? Why not, Munchkin?
Yep, spam through the wall. Gets the elimination. Solid way to start things off after that kickback.
He's got the null command. He can stay alive. He can keep that lockdown being used to Berlin, winning that trade with Meteor.
Mess up on the fragment there as well. Texture waiting here in mid, but takes an immense amount of damage, and Berlin with that TP up on top of the archway. Does manage to get the kill. 3 players now left standing for Gen G. FPX still taking the time, still respecting these players that are alive. As, Karen on that jiggle out. Able to go ahead and backpedal away. Gets himself situated.
Still has the paranoia. There it goes. Didn't connect with anybody on FPX though. And theirs does connect onto him.
Just taking some timing shots. Sees the flash out. Does manage to find Autumn, but Berlin collects himself a 3rd elimination. Lakia. Couple shots there on the Ion, but cannot find the kill before the door gets shut. Now they have to try to break this one down. Lysor just flush against the wall. Ready for the catch. Recon available here from Lakia. Looks like for now it's going to be saving it.
Making a ton of noise. trying to flush them out.
All shots through. 2 players here in hell as the turret gets cleared out. Lysor still over at main. Even if his teammates do end up falling, he still has that lockdown, but it won't be necessary. Berlin collecting 4 and FPX shortening the gap.
And it's crazy to think that Gen.G only had enough economy there to afford to lose 1 round. Now they're back into the Odin and the Operator. With half armors for everybody. You have a lockdown of your own as well for Meteor. Still have that no command for Munchkin. So you can counter Lysor's lockdown in a couple different ways, potentially. See exactly how they want to do it. Pretty standard setup for Gen.G. Although Munchkin going over in towards B main. Meteor back over into A with his Killjoy utility. Lysor for now just going to use that turret to make sure if there's any aggressive peek outs like we saw earlier from Texture, that those are able to be accounted for a little bit better. Just working the map here. Our FPX just kind of feeling out the defenses of Gen.G. This is something they normally like to do, is they're happy to kind of take their time, try to figure out where you are, find your utility, clear it out if they can, or bait some out. Very patient. Our FPX actually, despite these kind of unorthodox compositions that maybe you would expect teams just kind of try to go for weird util dumps and stuff like that that catch their opponents off guards, but they're very diligent, and Berlin does a great job leading this squad.
Curious to see the approach here. Do they just open up with a lockdown? He's at the guide their way into the site. There is quite a bit of util here from Meteor, and he does have a lockdown, so could set up for a counter one. But it looks like for now they're going to continue to inch forward, but a smoke comes through. Locking off main. Again, time running low. FPX really tries to kind of work this clock down, it would seem. Munchkin is going to get caught by a quick little prowler there. Sends out a pop flash. Life forward here on the side, swings out. Meteor able to take him down. Displaces him. Meteor finds a second. Munchkin able to get Ion, and that's going to be Autumn taken out as well. 3K for Meteor. Gen.G move up by 3 once again. 6-3. The count with a couple more rounds we played out in the half.
Even though Life is able to get his way onto the site, that's when the no command gets popped and cuts off the rest of FPX. Great timing there from Munchkin. Waited perfectly, kept Life stuck behind that box, didn't give his life up, gave Meteor the opportunity to get that kill, and then it's just an absolute mow down of the FPX players as they try to come through that A main arch. Once again, gonna be leaving Meteor over here on this A site. Really liking the ability of this Killjoy utility to stall. Meteor's ability to play well on that short A angle. They're just gonna go for the early lockdown. And it's gonna be the counter lockdown immediately.
Yep. Orb take here for Ion, now 1 away from having that Nightfall, but yeah, no way to clear these out, so it's just gonna be a stalemate for the moment. Each team respecting the respective ultimates, and Charon! He just hears the TP, knows exactly where Life is at, and that's the entire entry strategy for FPX, falling to pieces.
He just knew with the angle of that toxic screen where they were thinking about sending that TP. Probably seen it sometime, somewhere in an FPX replay. Here. Brilliant stuff from Charon.
And it's just all for naught.
I'll find you.
Well, FPX, how do they try to work their way back into this round?
I mean, it's just amazing to think that this is Charon's first year. He's just unbelievable.
First year and second international appearance. It's Meteor waiting for this pressure coming through. Finds the first, cannot get that second follow-up. It's Berlin, he's looking to TP his way through, but again, Charon ready for it. Strikes it down, swings out, looking for another target. As Texture arrives, jumps down off the top of heaven, collects himself a second kill. With the early loss of life there, FPX, they cannot resteady themselves in the round. Gen.G now getting up to 7.
Texture bringing the People's Operator from the top rope there, just absolutely crushing the hopes and dreams of FPX in this round. I mean, Charon, absolutely nuts in Life. You can see it on his face. Starting to feel that pressure, starting to feel this overwhelming defensive force that Gen.G is on this map. Do have a Nightfall to work with, but 1 away from a bunch of ults or Gen.G.
It's another full
2
set.
away, excuse me.
Another full set here from FPX. I mean, Ion, he does have the ult on live, but he does not have any armor. Going glass cannon with the Vandal in hand. A lot of pressure being applied here in towards mid, so drone out from Lakia. to try to scout. Then tucked back and defensive gate crash gets set up here from Life.
A little tricky. Shock dart trying to force some movement.
Ooh.
Just barely missing.
Just on the outskirts of that one. Texture peeking out a little bit deeper. The fake out, the flash, the paranoia, all connecting. Texture bogged there on the walls. The Nightfall goes across, catches on to 3. Approach now coming through. Getting ready to push through Market as Berlin on this lurk. Sees where the trail leads. Here's the footsteps, and Caron going to be taken down. Now Texture not really paying attention, but Meteor counter swings out. Top of Heaven ramp. Lysor now working his way across these Nanoswarms, but he's just getting ripped to pieces. The turret as well, helping to soften up this enemy KJ. Set up on the turret, push onto the corner. Meteor eating a little bit of damage, but eventually finds his mark. Kill found.
30
Comes
seconds.
back behind the box. Re-swings, gets a headshot, takes him down. Meteor gets the 4K. The upshot wide from Texture, but Aoyang now in a 1v3. Door is shut. The pressure is there. Munchkin pushing in from behind the recon, getting the ping, the spam across. Aoyang down now to 22. He's just put
10
in
seconds
such an impossible situation. And Texture with a shorty will finish this off. 8-3. FPX, can they get to 4?
I mean, the timings are just good enough for Gen G. Once again, Berlin getting deep into enemy territory. Gets the first kill, but immediately Meteor's there to follow up. The rotations were just starting to come through for Gen G. And it was just in the nick of time to keep Texture and that operator alive. And then Meteor once again, a destructive force on that A site. So many multi-kill rounds for him. 15 and 7. The man absolutely immovable as that killjoy on this map. Aoyang now gonna be moving up. Meteor gonna challenge off this flash, but FPX so far not taking the bait.
Fragment into the corner to see if anybody's still lingering. Get back away before Aoyang can try to counter swing out. There's another smoke going to be set up now. Dimensional drift in play from Life. Looking to lead the charge up through Cat. Spots out 3 players. Paranoia now crashing across. Quick exit. Looks for the kills. Finds the first one instant. This Meteor does get taken down. Solid opener, but does eat a decent amount of damage. Munchkin now creeping forward. Not sure if he's going to be ready for this one. Push into the smoke though. He's able to be snappy enough to take down Life, but still that backstab opportunity available from Lysor, who continues to play this out quietly. Position now reinforced. Checks for it. Munchkin still coming away with one before getting taken down. 3v3 now. The approach here out into Heaven. Texture fighting the first. Autumn dead. Knives out. Texture finds Aoyang, and it's all on Berlin. He's played it out quietly, and now his presence is known. Cover going down. Smoke in, all the util used, and Berlin will be standing tall. Red Bull clutch to end up the half. FPX, they managed to get a 4th.
That's a huge round for their attacker side to make it 4-8. Much more doable on their defender side. A massive pistol round coming up.
Makes it feel a bit better as they move over onto the defending side, but they need to pile this one perfectly. They need to take away this upcoming pistol round. We'll take a look back at it. I mean, just utter chaos, but no one registering that Berlin was going to be behind the generator. And you can see the frustration on the coach's faces there, thinking that this was going to be a 9-3 half. FPX, they say otherwise. But there's still more work to be done if they want to once again be victorious here on this stage in front of this home crowd. Let's go ahead and take a look though at another OMEN player moment, this time with Meteor.
안녕하세요. 젠지에서 활동 중인 메테오 김태호라고 합니다. 오랜만에 국제대회라 좀 긴장을 했던 것 같고 그래도 긴장을 했지만 팀원들이 더 잘해줬기 때문에 이긴 것 같습니다. 스테이지 2랑 서울 챔피언스도 남아있기 때문에 만약 성적을 못 내더라도 그 다음에 낸다는 마인드로 게임할 것 같습니다.
2 quick kills found. Suddenly we're in a 2v2. The Outlaws now scooped up by him. This has got the neural theft reveals. Shots coming through. Tech's going to be noted up here on the half wall. Lakia swiftly dealing with that now, sending the drone out. King trying to find a timing, trying to play around that one, but Karen once more.
일단 2등이라는 아쉬운 성적을 냈지만 사실 우승을 했더라면 더 좋았을 텐데 우승을 했더라면 좀 더 저희가 자만해지지 않았을까라는 생각도 있고 그리고 항상 1등만 할 수 없으니까 2등도 해보고 3등도 해보는 게 저한테는 굉장히 마인드를 다시 잡기에 좋은 성적인 것 같습니다. 솔직히 저희 팀보다 다른 팀들을 비교하기는 좀 그렇고 항상 잘하는 상대들만 모인 곳이니까 우리 것만 잘하자라는 얘기를 많이 한 것 같습니다.
Concerns
안녕하세요.
about potentially getting cocky there had they won that championship in stage 1. Right now, I think anything but. I think FPX, especially after that Lotus, them being able to clinch things out, humbling Gen.G a little bit. And I think that they've come into these last 2 maps a lot more level-headed.
Yes, they look like they've been able to focus up, come in here with some determination, but a tough half. As the defender side trying to push, saw the foot, but that one way there. Gen.G's gonna now make a go of it. Paranoia at the ready.
A bit of that leg there. Texture up and over the top. Frenzy in hand, but he will be able to find that kill, but Lysor quick to reply. Doesn't manage to put him down. Yes. Ayong able to find Munchkin, that Sheriff not getting value for him. Advantage now here in the hands of FPX. Gate crash back across.
They're expecting this to be A.
A little bit, but Life, he does have that follow-up gate crash ready to go, so can join in to try to reinforce his position, but Lysor, it feels like he's going to have to at least get one. Right now he's creeping out into the open. Expecting this push coming through. Smoke down here on the back ramp. Meteor going for the pinch. Lysor moving, gets distracted, and then Meteor on that flank, able to collect the kill. Life now arriving, but he has to wait for the rest of the team. Anything else would be a bit too risky.
Spike planted.
Oh, but he gets such a swift headshot to take down Meteor. Recon going to be cleared out. No other information going to be given up. Spray across. Charon trying to keep this back ramp smoked off. Put some decent damage across here into Life. Push in, that's going to be the fake out. It's the flash. Now it's all on Lakia here in boats. They're stopping their way towards him. The headshot onto one, onto two, but he cannot pivot back fast enough. One shot is all it would have taken. It's one shot that he does not get. Life will keep them in this as FPX win the pistol in the second half.
Man, Life there, so snappy. I mean, just able to get there in time, our FPX. Meteor trying to do what he can. And he gets taken down right out the rip. And it's all down to Lakia. Almost turns it in time. Just a split second ahead of him is Life. That fake out was huge to buy that extra space. Had to respect it. Did Gen.G. They pay the price, and yeah, Munchkin now starting to show some frustration. Felt like that should have been theirs.
Solid timing on the 0 point, interrupts, stops the Paranoia from coming through, but still a lot of forward, unscouted presence here on this B side of the map as Berlin just creeps back, managing to find texture. Spam through, Lysor takes out Meteor. He's revealed, shock darts land at his feet, and they will be able to claim him. Still very solid damage dealt here to Gen.G. Munchkin slow creeping up, just trying to grab that weapon, manages to recover, but Karen caught up in the crossfire.
Just gonna juggle that Guardian over towards Lakia. He's the fuller health bar, so onto him. That gun will go. He's gonna go think about going over towards A. And that seems to be the direction he wants to go. Watching for the cross is Ayong. Spotting things out is Munchkin, just in case someone got past his view.
Last player standing.
Just watching, waiting for it. Lakia will just take the opportunity, grab that orb, get towards that Hunter's Fury, which is only 2 away. Looks like he might also at least be able to get the plant down. Tap onto the door. The call will come through. All of FPX getting ready to swarm. Lakia has been clutch, but this might just be a bridge too far. Let's see what kind of damage he can deal.
Extremely difficult, cutting off his best angle with that smoke.
Prowler getting the catch, and he's just trained on that door, expecting it to be broken down a little bit faster. And no further damage to be found, only Lysor dead. And all these Guardians and the Bulldog carried over. FPX now bringing the gap down to just 2 rounds.
Well, the good news here, if you're Gen.G, is you've got a Hunter's Fury. That's your kind of thing you can rest on. But, I mean, great job identifying that position with their utility is Gen.G, but the crossfire just too much for them to really get through there. Tough round any way you cut it. Now with full rifles in hand, feels like almost this could be the round that changes the map potentially. If FPX can get the win here, it's 8-7. If Gen.G can find a win, maybe they can find some footing on this attacker side, which is generally obviously difficult for teams on Ascent. Is that going to
Nano up and over
clear
the
the
top.
other one? That's so good.
Clears out the Nano, clears out the enemy turret. Glycer maybe recalling that fast enough.
Can't use
Point suppress here. Smokes go flying. Life ready with a flash, sends it out the fake out, swings in. Texture somehow comes away with that kill. Life just couldn't quite line up the shots. Hunter's Fury now opened up here from the side. Unlockia. He catches Lysor. Ion able to avoid the follow-up shot. Himself now down to 70 HP. Meteor at 20 on the opposite side. The spike, however, out here in the middle of nowhere. They have to recover it.
It's going to be really tricky. Myung has a real shot at this.
Thrown over the top. They get the ping out on. Quick clear. Can he get them both? Can't get either. Lockia, snappy as ever, shuts it down. Gen.G will be able to deny the bonus conversion. They still lose out on multiple players.
Yeah, trying to go for this flash and push play through the smokes in towards benches, but able to be handled well enough there by Gen.G. Lockia able to fish one out with that Hunter's Fury. Then uses that drone very nicely. Again, it's been crucial in a couple of these rounds throughout these maps that Lockia still has that Owl drone late, and he's able to use it to bully off one of the FPX players from a key position so that Gen.G can reestablish themselves. This time around, dart towards mid to check. Wary again of that push, even the 0 point as well. Only gonna get life with it. He's gonna back off towards spawn. Texture now. Oh my.
Oh, Berlin is not ready for that push coming through. Gets caught off guard. Lysor making his way forward. Too much damage there from that Nano Swarm, but
Portal closed.
gets himself into a little bit of a deeper position. Ping gonna be coming down, identifying that the alarm bot is here.
The positioning that Gen.G has, they've taken mid control. They could take B main control as well here very soon. They're trying to, they're considering it. With Texture being there for so long, not hearing any sound, but Gen.G doesn't feel comfortable just yet. Drone only gets a little bit of info. I don't think they saw Ion.
It's hard to say, maybe a pixel out of place, but either way, they opt to go on the attack here towards this B site. Lysor set up here by Switch, tucks into this cloud burst. He's trying to stay alive, but it's just too many targets. Life pushing forward, able to find Texture, finding just that one elimination, but is quickly traded out.
30 seconds
Attention
left.
drawn, but
Last
Ion now
player
dead.
standing.
Munchkin dead to his own fragment. Not sure what happened there, but either way, Autumn is the last one standing. Plant now coming through a 1v3. Try to clutch this out.
Spike planted.
Just that singular snake bite. Charon jiggling, notes him, but now they know exactly where this Viper is. Bite at the ready. Charon just eating a little bit of damage now. TP's out, Cross gets himself into the site safely. Autumn for now, maybe just able to try to contain them in this site, force them to go down to the spike, but winning the round gonna prove to be very difficult. In fact, he's just gonna go ahead and back away and look to hold on to the weapon.
Yeah, I mean, Autumn's been really good this tournament so far. Hitting some huge shots, winning some big clutches, but this one just too difficult. Feels that it's gonna be wiser to save this gun. Gen.G gonna go up 10-6. Great space control here. Being really patient, using some early utility to clear that space at Market and at Pizza to make sure that Texture could set up, clear the alarm bot, then they call a freeze. Able to clear the corner, able to take out Lysor.
Does he just... Yep. Okay.
He just walked into it.
Solo has some words for him. I think he thought of that. I think he thought that the previous pulse was the final one, but misjudging the timing.
Well, it's usually Meteor doing that into the lockdowns.
Right.
Cover going out.
Well, some comic relief, if nothing else. As Recon respotting out too much there.
Weaker buy now for FPX. Dimensional Drift, yes, but is this going to be a round where you're going to be able to invest it? Maybe if you can scoop up a gun for life, consider it. Including utility, trying to find a high pen
Just painting
headshot.
a picture around them. The outline there, but Bill's not quite found. Dash across, Texture just gets himself over to Switch, wanting to shut that door, it would seem. Looks back, but has missed Lysor. He's got himself tucked away here at this back ramp. Reinforcements now getting ready to come through, but Lysor already taken down. The TP now working its way into the site.
Blinding.
Used, reinforce here at Boathouse. Tap onto the spike, and Berlin just going to be penning through, able to find that shot. Munchkin interrupted on the plan. Berlin now trying to go for a TP play. It's a headshot on Talakia. Karen dead. Berlin. He's just annihilated them. Has to go for the reload. The right click's not really connecting. Meteor still relatively healthy, but now Meteor the last one standing. And Berlin will get it done. What in the hell is that?
Who does that? Who TP's up there? Right in the middle. There's no smoke. There's no cover.
Absolutely unthinkable. Berlin annihilates them. A Mastercard thrifty when they need it so desperately.
I cannot believe what they do. And that is just quintessential FPX right there. And Berlin just stands up and lets them know. Give that man some accolades. What a play. Texture gonna pop the Blade Storm to start off this round. Try to save up a little bit of extra economy here. Bought over a gun, it looks like. So they could get everybody else with those Vandals. But oh my word. Could that be the round that changes the destiny for FPX? Because that one looked like it had Gen G written all over it, Achilleos.
Absolutely did. Now things very much slowed down. Knives here in the hands of Texture. Dimensional Drift available for life, does have an operator as well. Setting up a gate crash and starting to work his way across over in towards mid. This could end up being devastating depending on how far he decides to push.
I'll handle this.
There he goes.
Here.
Spotting them all out. Munchkin maybe the only one not quite seen. Yep, just bonking him on the head. Lakia trying to chase, trying to get on top of him, but it's just going to be the gate crash back over into boats to keep himself safe on him in the meantime. Able to find Munchkin. Takes him down just outside the window.
30 seconds left.
Smoke now across from Berlin, setting up some additional defenses here for this A site, but Gen G very much committed to this push, and it's a one-way in fact. TP into main from Berlin. Do they suspect this at all? Well, they're just wait and see, but it's Whip City from Texture. Night kill's not found on him. Able to get Karen.
10 seconds left.
Meteor fighting back just a little bit, but they are running out of time. The spike now stranded, and Berlin does it again. The 4-piece into the 3. Life continuing to put him on display and says, look at this man. Look at this monster.
24 and 12 right now. The IGL for FPX getting it done on the Omen. Just ridiculous. Great backpedaling off of this pressure from Gen G. And they just let them come through that door. They welcome them through, and they're saying yes again. This man is potentially dashing Gen G's hopes of getting through 2-0 to the playoffs. And that's going to bring out the timeout.
You can tell pressure, the key word that you mentioned, building up here against Gen G as the crowd continues to rally behind FPX to try to spur them onward. That backstab opportunity from Texture. 2 players in his sights. They just cannot find either of them. Not something that we typically see from him.
Very rare. Absolutely.
Perhaps the Gen G camp getting a little bit rattled. So this timeout from Solo, an attempt to try to refocus the squad. Couple ults they're trying to work with here. That lockdown online. Munchkin, the null command, nearly there as well. But you look at FPX, they are about to have so much in the war chest.
Exactly, dude. I mean, it's crazy because Gen G likely not going to invest the lockdown in this round, and then you're going to have a bunch of counter utility on FPX's side. And so this is really in favor of FPX in the alt economy, in the regular economy. Everything starting to shift their way. That one clutch from Berlin, right underneath the feet.
Anyway, finding him. Ion now fully blinded up, is going to be taken down, but not before he's able to find Charon. Texture entering here onto the site. Sets up a cloudburst, swings across, just trying to give himself an angle to claim this kill. Flash through, nothing spotted there. Meteor, fadeaway shot, takes out Life just through the corner. Turret now set up. Berlin gonna have to clear that. Actually, TP's up to the side now. Lockdown invested. Turret does alert. Door, the rush down coming through, breaks it. Meteor tucking back into the corner, still wanting the challenge, but Berlin has to respect this, has to backpedal.
Amazing. The fact that Gen.G finds that timing to give themselves the space. It's still a couple Sheriffs, a Guardian. Texture grabs the Vandal. Oh, Meteor, this lurk, though, is so brutal.
Do they suspect it? The answer's no, but he can't find the shot. And then Autumn just swings into the crosshair. A second for Meteor. Texture pushing, looking for a timing, but Lysor able to capitalize, finds it now. Lockdown gonna be invested, but time is running thin. Meteor finds the last 2 shots! And it's another Mastercard Trip Feed brought to you by Meteor. What an absolute demon!
Meteor is a monster. He is a force of nature. An extinction level event. This man, such patience. I mean, this one, sure, the jump peek around the corner, but he's so ready. He's so aware. My goodness. The back and forth here. And now Gen.G.
I'm in the disbelief.
Oh, I am too. I'm in disbelief too. I don't blame you.
It's just absolutely insane.
Goodness.
The Thrifty's able to be pulled off here from the side of Gen.G. I mean, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of all the flawlesses we used to get when it was solo playing on that stage back at the first International Masters event on New Turn on Ascent. I mean, that is where they disrupted everyone's expectations time and time again. And some of these rounds, it looks like it's just destiny for FPX to get the victory, but Gen.G, they pulled the rug out from beneath them. So now a final timeout committed here from FPX, needing to get the team rallied back, get a round win.
It's just incredible sometimes, these Gen.G players. Their mechanics are top tier, that's why 3 of these players on Gen.G are among the few in Pacific who've gotten over 1,000 kills throughout their VCT Pacific career. They put together an all-star squad, a squad with tons of firepower, and that's one of those rounds that squad, it gets you wins that they have no business getting.
Pit now invested off the rip here from Autumn. Wanting to hold them back, force them away from this A site.
Caution.
Already Munchkin starting to make his way back through spawn over towards B. This is pretty much precisely where FPX want to corral the squad to.
This is what they want. They want to stagger these flashes, these prowlers, paranoia, just try to wipe Gen.G out before they even get started potentially if they were to go towards B. But for now, Gen.G taking their time. Not much info on what's been going on in mid. That toxic screen makes it a little bit more tricky to check it as frequently as you would like. Not being super cautious with their footsteps. There we go, no command pop.
Push coming through, but it's just a blind push. Unescorted here on the corner as Life will be able to find Lakia. No command pulsing, but nothing really mattering there. As they now swoop their way over towards A, but already Life set up on this angle. Lysor pushing forward. Stops up. Meteor goes out, managing to find that headshot. Munchkin now taking down Berlin. That's going to be them cutting back across over towards this B site. Ion, however, can disrupt it all. Nightfall at the ready. Sends it. TP into the B site, however. Calrot gets himself here. Still can't hear a damn thing. Meteor ripping around the back. Ion, has he read this? What? The fadeaway from Meteor! Keeps them in the round. Autumn and Live still long rotations. Meteor thinking about checking, and as he does, he delivers himself unto death. Autumn able to collect that. Vandal now here into the hand of Live. Caron just tucked up against the box. Flash up over the top. It does catch on to him, but he hears the footsteps. Looks for the first. Can find it. It cannot get the second. A costly round, but one that goes away of FPX all the same. They shorten the gap even more. 2 rounds separating as they get themselves up to 9.
What are these flicks? What are these flicks? They defy logic. I mean, Meteor there, though, just oversteps, thought maybe he could catch a player of FPX off guard if he re-peeks that angle. This is a great setup, giving up all this space, and the no command pops, and they all just turn their attention in towards Market. And Ion has been outrageous on these peaks. He's so fast on them today. And it makes it so difficult for Gen G to react. It is Peeker's advantage, for sure. Now, going to 11-9. Gen G, though, having to cut some guns. Only 3 Vandals able to be purchased, but as we've seen, there are no slouches with the Sheriffs. Just wrapping in now, over towards A. Not much info for either side really to work with here. Meteor's tucked in right outside of that alarm bot in Pizza. The rest of Gen G considering a move back over towards B. Probably just talking this one out, talking about how they want to make this execute. Lockyer going to use the Owl drone to hopefully keep some attention over towards A. A little bit of fake utility there. So the real hit potentially going to be over here at B.
Spotted one, but wasn't able to check into wine, which is where he wanted that drone to get to. This very much does further in towards this site. Entry from Texture, dashing his way over. TP out though, Life now joining in with that gate crash. It's the reveal! Texture able to capitalize. Wallbang shot pushes up over top of the fragment, disrespecting it, catching Life off guard. Nice shot back from Berlin in a similar position, but this time Meteor will not give him the time of day. He will not give him that opportunity, that chance to go for another clutch. Gen G firmly in control. Autumn and Ion to see if they can deal any damage, if they can somehow bring this back.
There. Where are
So difficult. Not a lot of util to work with. The money, a little bit bad for a couple players. Should have enough for another buy, but
One of those moments where you want to play for this one, but it just seems like the odds are so very stacked against you. Just given the economic situation, having to go for the save, it's likely going to be necessary. They continue to push up. Time dwindling. Couple shots through. Getting some damage. Ion able to find one, but Meteor takes down Autumn. Munchkin takes down Ion. And Gen G get themselves now up to match point. FPX need 3 consecutive rounds to take us to yet another overtime.
it's incredible the way that Texture maneuvers here. Able to get into his own smoke and then using Munchkin's fragment to completely catch Life off guard. Had no idea, never suspected it. Meteor turns into Berlin, takes him down. And then FPX feeling the pressure, feeling like they needed to go for it. And they will be short on funds for a full buy.
Yeah.
Sheriff for Lysor, a Bulldog for Life. Half armor for most of the other players. Ion with that. with that blast cannon. Yeah.
Berlin just
You should run.
getting himself over here. Lockdown now. Gonna be invested. Wait, run the clock down a little bit, then start working their way forward. But Alarm Bot Nano still set up here for Lysor. Berlin backs away. There's barely enough time. That 0 point stops him from re-TPing forward, but Karon's gonna be just taken down by the Nano. A kill found. Meteor now gonna also buy some space with some of that util of his own. Push up, spots multiple players, but Lysor takes him down. Fantastic Sheriff shot, giving Meteor a taste of his own medicine. Now the push coming through. Texture able to stabilize with his own second. Pops out Tailwind, looks for the third. Can't quite make it happen, but Lakia is there for the alley-oop. Strikes him down, but now it is all on Lakia. Misses the timing, cannot get Ion. He does have some shotguns, but does he have the lineup? Hold the half. The bounce in, no, it's nowhere near on the mark. He can just hold it. As they will be able to retain these weapons. FPX still in with an opportunity.
Oh my goodness. It is going down to the wire potentially once again. Staring down another overtime are these two teams potentially. Texture doing what he can, but those opening shots to clear space at the front of the site, so good for FPX. And Lakia there with that Hunter's Fury thought he maybe could have one more player alive. And maybe they could have got that done. Now the Blade Storm again for Texture. Couldn't find much value last time. See if this time around could be the difference maker. At the very least, Lakia able to hang on to that Odin. And they're just, I think, maybe thinking about hitting this B site.
Down to the force them back. Flash out. Up over the top here from Texture. Seeking target, but none spotted. Two players now once again tucked away inside of boats. The gate crash arriving. Life. TP's his way forward. Shots going damn close. It takes you down to 2 HP. That connection was found from Berlin.
Oh.
Life though, counter sprayed out. Pulls down to 5. Drone to check, spots out 2. Spray across, Berlin just taking a smattering of damage there from the Odin. Keeps himself alive, and for now, Gen.G still gonna be held at bay. Berlin creeping forward. Gonna perhaps try to catch them off guard. Smoke, however, dissipating, spotted. He has to fall back. TP's once again here in the boathouse.
They still have to play for the rotation. FPX has to hold over towards A, so Gen.G can wait this out.
Dart center, Lakia able to wall bang onto one texture. Getting Berlin as Lakia falls. A 4v3, but it may as well be a 3v2 considering texture and Life's HP. But FPX for all the marbles. Can they get themselves over the line here in this round? They absolutely need to. Otherwise, Gen.G walking away victorious. Spam across, checking out the box. Shots through, Life able to find Munchkin. Catches him there in the head. Meteor now looking to take some space, working his way up this ramp, looking to play on this one-way setup. Autumn eating quite a bit of damage, but Meteor cannot confirm the kill. Sees, finding no one. Taeyang getting Charon. Meteor here on the flank, he jumps! He absolutely squanders it as Taeyang collects the third! And FPX are not finished yet! One more round to take us into overtime.
The Guardians singing here for FPX, hitting some phenomenal shots. The crowd willing FPX on. The hometown favorites trying to push us to the second overtime. Oh my goodness, of this match. Oh my goodness.
Seemingly just mimicking his opponent's movements. He sees Ion jump up in the air. He accidentally presses spacebar to match. Offsets it. And stops him from being able to finish this game right here, right now. Gen.G, one last round. Texture, opening things up in a brutal way. Doesn't go up to the top of Gen. TP forward here from Karen. Absolutely fearless, and now Ion gonna be taken down. Mask goes on, dimensional drift here in play. But Life absolutely needs to deliver. Scouts out around the back, nothing gonna be spotted. Lakia potentially in a position to maybe get caught. As turret goes up, Life knowing exactly where Meteor's at, but Meteor strikes him. Lakia not registering that Berlin was in front of him. Does get taken down, but now a 2v4. Lysor does recover a Vandal, gets rid of that Stinger, gives himself a bit of a better opportunity. The 0 point comes across. It looks to shut him down. TP forward here into the smoke. They just spam across. Meteor says, nah, no more of your tricks. Finds the kill, gets the finisher. It's another 4K. As Gen.G take down FPX on a set 13-11. They win the series, and they punch their ticket to playoffs.
What an astounding match between these two teams. Insanely well fought by FPX and Gen.G. Neither side ever giving up. The Lotus, an overtime thriller. Gen.G able to punch back on FPX's map pick of Sunset. And here, on Ascent, the decider, Gen.G just barely gets the 13-11 to win. But a tremendous performance by FPX. A well-deserved round of applause.
And I think a performance that none of us could have ever anticipated. Yes, FPX looking incredibly strong, stronger than ever coming into this tournament. But Gen.G, they've always seemed like a different beast here in 2024. FPX pushed them to the absolute limit, took them down on their pick of Lotus, nearly took us to another overtime there on Ascent. But for Gen.G, maybe can breathe a little bit more easily. They get the 2-0 result that they're looking for. But this was them being tested more than they probably had anticipated. FPX, we look forward to seeing them more in the future because this team is a fascinating and enthralling watch.
Please, I mean, you certainly got to feel like the odds are good that FPX is going to make playoffs with the way they're playing right now because they are phenomenal. They make great decisions. They throw so many different looks at you.
And the other thing is, and I don't necessarily fully believe in transitive property, but if FPX are coming out here and they look like this, imagine what we can get from EDG.
Oh my God.
Bested them in that grand final. If this is going to be the bar set for the Chinese team, then good Lord, I cannot wait to see EDG joining the fight as well.
Please. I mean, I would love that. You know, this FPX team, just as good as EDG, so yeah. Those playoffs are going to be scary for anyone going up against those two squads. God, this TP from Berlin. I thought that might have been the moment that everything was going to change here, that it was going to be FPX.
It was back-to-back rounds.
Yeah.
And to be able to persevere past that, all credit to the side of Gen.G, but good lord. I don't care what team you are at this event, if you're going up against FPX, I would be sweating bullets.
Oh God, yeah, but just a real quick talk about Gen.G, and I feel like a broken record, but their resilience, unbreakable.
Absolutely. What an incredible performance, what an incredible series, but now we've got Yinzu standing by on stage with Karon.
Oh, what a fantastic victory that was for Gen.G, and I'm now joined by Karon here on stage. Luna is going to do a bit of a translation, and Jen as well. First of all, massive congratulations. You only joined this team back in December. It feels like this is the very start of your career, but you're already so consistent. Back-to-back international tournaments, back-to-back playoffs as well here. How do you do it? How are you guys so good?
其实像我们 Karon 选手现在来到 GNG 其实是很短的时间，但是你能够做到连续2次进入到世界赛事，并且能够做到晋级到了淘汰赛，你们是怎么做到的呢？
승리 축하드립니다. 카론 선수 12월에 팀에 영입된 이후에 계속해서 2연속 국제대회 출전에 2연속 국제대회 플레이오프 진출이라는 엄청난 결과를 이루고 있는데 어떻게 이렇게 잘하는 걸까요?
일단 저희 코치 감독님들하고 팀원 형들이 저를 잘 이끌어 주어가지고 여기까지 온 것 같고, 그리고 저희 팀원 간의 그 약간 뭐라 해야 되지, 팀 합의나 같이 저희가 친해져가지고 이런 게임적인 부분에서도 그런 게 좋은 작용을 하는 것 같습니다.
Well, props to the coaching staff and my teammates for leading me throughout the international events and every single match. And also, we have a great bond going on of a brotherhood and a friendship. Also, the team synergy going on, so that explains why we're so strong.
其实我觉得是我们的教练组以及对团队里面的哥哥们一直在引领着我，在每一次的世界赛当中的每一场比赛都是这样帮助着我，以及我们队伍里面有非常好的连接，非常好的兄弟情谊，也是一直在帮助着我。
Of course, for the next round, as you know, the 4 teams that have already made playoffs from each region will get to choose which team they face. It does feel like I don't think any team will want to choose you guys because you're looking so good right now. But who would you want to face this time?
那其实，在淘汰赛已经有4支队伍可能会等待着GNG的到来，但我相信可能他们并不一定会想去选你们。那你觉得你会想去面对哪一支队伍呢？
네, 플레이오프에 올라가면 위에서 기다리고 있는 1번 시드 팀들이 좀 상대가 누가 될지를 뽑게 할 수 있잖아요. 근데 아무도 젠지를 뽑기 싫을 것 같은데 그래도 카론 선수나 아니면 젠지의 입장에서는 플레이오프에서 누구를 만나고 싶나요?
저는 그 플레이오프에서 그
스나틱, 페이퍼렉스, 백티, EDG.
저 개인적으로 백티 만나고 싶습니다.
100 Thieves.
Oh, okay.
他们想要面对100T。
Yep, 100 Thieves. Well, Gen.G have made it through, but don't go anywhere because after this, G2 and Team Heretics will be taking the stage.
The hometown heroes are hoping to see if lightning can strike twice on that stage, but in their way is one of the Pacific region's best. Gen.G versus FPX.
Texture out for blood. Life though, holding the line outside of B. Takes him down. Autumn just tapping away, finds one, and Lakia cannot get the flick. Autumn says, nah, son, I'm better than you with Young. Scoops it up.
Lakia.
As Life comes up with one, Karon mows down 3. Texture now, his own showstopper in hand, sends it, gets the kill. And my God, what an explosive, chaotic, and messy round. Molly finds one, Karon able to take out Life, but now Lakia gonna be traded out. Oh, shots flying, things looking good. It's all on Meteor, and he cannot make it happen. The pit invested in Karon, everything to do. Spots one, swings out of it though, and Autumn will collect the 4K. 16-14, FPX. They do not let the map get away from them. There's nothing more that Life can realistically do here. Just looks for any kind of exit frags that he can potentially get. Now the double shot sent, has to go over to the Classic. Looks for the right click, but it's going to be Texture who takes him down. Comes out of this one, has the op, and Life gets a shot. Meteor going to be dead. I am fighting too. Life is creeping in from the flank. Gets the shot, and FPX get the lead. Mid able to find the catch on the Life. There's the reveal. The bang through as the ping comes across, and Munchkin going to be able to find himself 3. But now it's a 2v3. Life going to be taken down. Meteor able to just go ahead and finish it off.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Sunset out of the way, Ascent on the horizon. The action will continue. They've squandered their time, and Meteor has held the line. A Mastercard thrifty and a 4K from Meteor with some of the most gorgeous shots that I have seen. Forward here on the side, swings out. Meteor able to take him down. Displaces him. Meteor finds a second Munchkin. 3K from Meteor. Trying to go for a TP play. Gets a headshot on Talakia. Karen dead. Berlin. He's just annihilated them. Meteor the last one standing. And Berlin will get it done. What in the hell is that? Looking for a timing, but Lysor able to capitalize, finds it now. Lockdown going to be invested, but time is running thin. Meteor finds the last 2 shots.
Whoa! Yo!
Gen.G take down FPX on a set 13-11. They win the series, and they punch their ticket to playoffs.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yesterday said it's more on the way. I done made a lot of money and it's more on the way. I done got a couple plaques and it's more on the way. I put a lot of people on and it's more on the way. Lego popping up. If life a marathon, I got no choice but run amok. I've been sliding on these tracks, my haters need a salt truck. And it still won't melt the ice, and it's black. And I'm back, you talking down, what is that? Bro, you act like we ain't blessed or something. God ain't flexing something. If you want me on your set or something, cut a check or something. We've been bringing dreams to life like Freddy Krueger, we ain't done. I've been moving on this blind faith from staring at the sun. Just when it sound like they don't see it, let alone what it feel like. Dog, why you worry about them? Go get your own life. Counting everybody pockets like you work for Levi. Oh my, that won't get you nowhere.
I came way too far from hiding, seeking from the police. But it came way too far, my gang was sitting in the nosebleed. Praying down on my knees and got back up, we in the floor seats. Yeah, looking at full court games, like of course we had to go stretch on full course meals, now it's more on the way. Why would I stress about these bills, I got more on the way. I'm a still winning politician, more on the way. Pull up deep, I'm never solo and it's more on the way. I done put a lot of people on and got no thank you. I ain't saying I'm God or nothing, but I'm Allen Iverson. When I talk about crosses, I ain't trying to break your ankles. Tell him I've been stepping for so long, I got cankles. Wanna make me mad, try to come tell me what Jesus can't do. Make me mad. Well, you better be glad you ain't no villain, Jesus saved. Baby glad. Everybody used to be like, what's that smell? Jesus bathed you.